Welcome everybody back to the Unscripted Sports Show. I'm your host, Money E, aka Aaron. This is episode 27, college football, week 12, predictions and best bets. I just did a live show with my brother for the NFL Week 11. Check that out. Um, on this Friday, we'll on the Wrestling Through the Years, we'll be doing ECW Heatwave 1998 with myself, Doug, Daniel, and I think Cliniff. So check that out on Wrestling Through the Years YouTube channel. That's our flagship show on the Everything Unscripted Everything Unscripted podcast network. And then check myself and Doug for when tunes combined this week. It's Mario and I think Super Mario and Sonic the Hedgehog. When tunes combined, he'll be doing a script for that. Crossover script for those two shows, those two cartoons. That should be fun. I'm looking forward to that one. I like Mario and Sonic. So Sunday for the Stavcast with Mindy and Daniel from the Stavcast on Sunday, and then when Bobby and Daniel come back for the Rose Down, I'm not sure when they're going to do that, but they'll be back soon. So check that out, and then check the shows on this channel, the Unscripted Sports Show. I'll be doing some basketball content soon, college basketball, and probably give up some picks maybe tomorrow. When the season starts to get more into fold, I'll start doing that. Maybe starting next week. It'll be third full week of the season. So third full week of the season. So I'll start doing that more in NBA too. Yeah. So last week I only did 5 games. I only did 5 games at Pick Chrome. So let's see. Yeah, I only picked 5 games last week. I didn't really like last week's slate. So last week, in the bottom is my record. Last week I went 1-4. Serves me right, only doing 5 games, so I went 1-4. The only game I got right was Texas against my team, Florida. So yeah, Texas put an ass whooping on my Gators, and yeah, because the Gators had their third string quarterback. So yeah, I think it would have been a lot closer if DJ played. Or even DJ played. So yeah, it would have been a lot closer. It was a walk on quarterback, the third string quarterback that played. So Texas should have kicked their ass. So I am 56 and 49 in the season. Week 11 best bets. I was 0-2, so 13 and 22 on that. On bets. I've decided just to call it bets instead of best bets because one best bet per week. So, and my best bet lost 2, so that counts as a bet. That counts as the towards the bet. So 0-2. I had Georgia money line. I had Georgia cover -2.5, and I had Texas Tech winning on the money line. So they both lost. So I went 0-2 last week, 5-6 on the season for best bet. At some point, I went I'm 5-6 in the best bets. I mean, money play best bet. That's my best bet of the season. Of the week. So yeah, I'm 5-6 on that, and let's get to it. I'm going back to 10 pips this week, so let's do it. And going back to a couple Friday night games, so I have 3 Friday night picks here. What I like North Texas versus UTSA. That's the University of Texas at San Antonio. North Texas 5-4, -1.5. Um, San Antonio, Texas San Antonio is 4-5. They're plus 106 on the money line. Over under 72.5. I have North Texas winning 24-14. And yeah, I want North Texas to win in the Battle of Texas. Two small Texas schools. This should be a good battle. I think the over under is pretty high. So yeah, I like the under here, obviously. 24-14. So yeah, North Texas is pretty good. I think they can win here and get their sixth win, securing their bowl eligibility, securing the bowl game. Next game, uh, former Pac-12 teams now both in the Big Ten, facing each other. So these two know each other pretty well, to say the least. UCLA travels to Washington, 5-5 Washington versus 4-5 UCLA. Yep. I think Washington wins here, 24-17. I think this should be a good battle. I think, yeah, Washington gets their sixth win. They secure their bowl game. So, yeah, I think they win here. I don't think UCLA is all that great, but I think they keep it close here. Washington is minus 2.5. Yeah, they're minus 2.5. No, 3.5. I know that's a trap line on sometimes, but I like that. This game's on Fox. It should be a decent game. I think it's at 9 o'clock, 8 or 9 o'clock on Fox on Friday. It should be a good game. Next game, Houston and Arizona. This is 10 o'clock on FS1. Houston travels to Arizona. Arizona has become disappointing team. I thought they were going to be, I think, fairly decent this year, but they're 3-6. Houston is 4-5. Should be another good game. I think Arizona wins 27-17. I could see Houston maybe winning this game, but I have Arizona winning 27-17. I think they're at home. I think they're due for a win. They're trying to get to a bowl game. I don't think you need 6 anymore because there's so many, because the playoff, 12-team playoff. So I think you can get 5 and get in. They're minus 2.5 on the money on the spread. Houston's plus 100 on the money line. The over under is 44.5. Obviously, I like the under. I just have the under at 44. So next game, first game on Saturday. I'm talking about is number 3 Texas versus Arkansas. 5-4 Arkansas versus 8-1 Texas. Now these are the AP rankings, so these rankings are not the college football rankings. These are the AP. Arkansas is plus 440 on the money line, over under 56.5. This game's at 12 o'clock noon on ESPN, on ABC. So this should be an interesting game. Yeah, this should be an interesting game. I have Texas winning 31-20. In the under hitting. So I have the under in this one too. For the first couple games, I have the under. I don't usually like unders, but I think Texas pulls away here in the fourth quarter and wins 31-20. I don't think that Arkansas has the offense to keep up, but I think they keep it close in the first half. Small little play I like is probably Arkansas first half spread. I can see Arkansas keeping this close. Next game, Clemson travels to Pittsburgh. Two teams playing for playoff spot. Two teams playing for a spot in the ACC championship probably. 7-2 Clemson versus 7-2 Pittsburgh. Clemson's 10.5-point favorites on the road against Pittsburgh, plus 280 money line, over under 54.5. I like Pittsburgh to upset Clemson. I think 10.5 is way too high for two teams that are 7-2. I don't think Clemson is that much better. I see Pittsburgh getting the upset here and winning 24-21. And I think if they win here, they control their own destiny to get in the ACC championship game. So Pittsburgh needs to win this game. Both teams need to win. Sorry, both teams need to win to stay in the race for the ACC championship game. Because right now it's Miami, SMU is the leader, and then Miami, Pittsburgh, and Clemson are all tied for second, I think. Let me check that real quick. Let me check. ACC. No, Pittsburgh has 2 losses. So Pittsburgh needs to win this in order to stay back in the race, because right now if they beat Clemson will be 4-2. Miami is 5-1. Miami would move into second place behind SMU. So yeah. Pittsburgh needs to win this and get back in the race for a spot in the ACC championship game. Like right now, SMU controls their own destiny to get in because they're undefeated right now in the ACC. So, yeah. I like Pittsburgh to win, as I said. It should be a good game. Low scoring game, so I like the under in this one too. Next game, Utah and Colorado. Number 18 Colorado hosts Utah. Disappointing Utah. I had Utah, I think, winning the Big 12 in the beginning of the season, if I'm not mistaken, or at least second place. They were supposed to be one of the contenders to win the Big 12. A lot of injuries to quarterback. Cam Rising got injured again. Shocker. 4-5 in the season. They changed quarterbacks again. They had Zach Wilson's brother, the true freshman, in there, but then they switched to a different. I forgot the guy's name, but he played against BYU. Speaking of that game was great. BYU came back and won. Utah had that game They should have won that game. But yeah, I have Utah going to Colorado and losing. Plus 300 on the money line is Utah. Yep, plus 300 on the money line. 11.5-point favorites for Colorado. I think Colorado pulls away and wins 41-21 here. Yeah, and Colorado is in the race for the Big 12 championship game. They went out. I think they would be in the Big 12 championship. Right now, it's BYU and Colorado destined for the Big 12 championship game. That would be great. BYU versus Colorado. Next game, Notre Dame and Virginia. Virginia 5-4, plus 1,000 on the money line if you think they could win at Notre Dame. Number 8 Notre Dame. I think Notre Dame's overrated. Minus 22.5. With that said, I think they're overrated, but I think they cover in this game because I don't think Virginia is that good. They win 41-17. Notre Dame plays Army next week, so it could be a look-ahead spot because they play Army at Yankee Stadium next week. But I have Notre Dame pulling away here, 41-17. Virginia could stay in it in the first half, but I think Notre Dame wins going away 41-17, and they play Army next week. And I think the winner of Notre Dame Army next week possibly could get to the playoff, because if Army beats Notre Dame, then you can make a case for Army replacing Notre Dame in the playoff. If Notre Dame went up 2 losses, and Army would be 10-0 or 11-0. I think they would be 10-0. No, they would be 11-0, and with Navy coming up. No. I think Army has 2 more games or 3 more games. But yeah, that should be a good game next week. And Army could get in the playoff if they beat Notre Dame. Boston College and SMU. Speaking of SMU, the ACC leader. Number 14 SMU. I think they're getting kind of disrespected here with their ranking. We'll talk about that in the college football ranking. I meant to do that first, but I did that last today. Boston College is plus 530 on the money line. Number 14 SMU is minus 16.5, 53.5 at the over under, 330 on ESPN. I have SMU winning 44-10 and covering the spread and the overhitting. So this is my second over I have. So SMU wins going away 44-10. Missouri and South Carolina. Number 24 Missouri versus number 23 South Carolina. This should be a good game, under the radar, a good game here. What time is this game on? This is at 4:15 on the SEC network. I think this should be a good game. I think South Carolina wins 27-24. It could go either way. I don't know why South Carolina is dropping half point favorites. That's probably because Missouri is missing their starting quarterback, I think. Cooker is his name. So yeah, I think Missouri keeps this close and wins 27 and loses 27-24. South Carolina wins at home. The game of the weekend, Tennessee and Georgia. Number 6 Tennessee faces number 11 Georgia. Georgia, coming off their loss, comes back home to face Tennessee. Tennessee only has 1 loss. Tennessee is plus 260 on the money line. Georgia is 10.5 point favorite. I think that's very high. Disrespectful to Tennessee a little bit. Over under 48.5. I have Georgia winning 31-28. So I have Tennessee covering, obviously. So there you go. That's last pick of the week. Now to my best bets. North Texas and UTSA under 72.5. I think that's high. Even if those two teams can score, I do think that's very high for a game. So I like the under. Saturday's bet, I like Colorado minus 11.5 against Utah. I think Colorado wins by 2 touchdowns here, more than 2 touchdowns. So I like Colorado. I think this is the first time I picked Colorado in the show this year. So yeah, I'm buying into Colorado now. Yeah, I still hate them, but I'm buying into them. My money play best bet is Tennessee plus 10.5 against Georgia. I wouldn't be surprised if they actually won this game, but I have Georgia winning, obviously by 3 points, and so that means I have Tennessee covering 10.5. I think that's too high for a game that's going to be good, and Georgia hasn't played that well this year. They played all right. They played well at times, and they played bad at times. So Georgia looked like the top two team at some one point, and then they lay against Ole Miss and Alabama, and I don't know. I can't tell how Georgia is this year. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they look good, sometimes they look bad, and they looked bad last week. So I wasn't impressed with Georgia last week, and therefore, with my ranking coming up, you'll see it. So with that said, let's talk about the playoff rankings. Let's go with the more important ones, the college rankings. Week 2, college football second rankings. This is second rankings here. So the second rankings are Oregon staying at 1, State staying at 2, Texas moving up from 5 to 3, Penn State moving up from 6 to 4, Indiana moving from 8 to 5, BYU moving from 9 to 6, Tennessee moving from staying at 7, Notre Dame moving from 10 to 8, Miami going down from 4 to 9, Alabama going from 11 to 10, Ole Miss in the ranking for the first time, and because they beat Georgia, and Georgia going from 2 to 12. The fact that there's 5 SEC teams in the top 12 is a joke. No Boise State. Come on. What are you doing? No Boise State? Disrespectful. No SMU. Do I see that right? There's no SMU. Wait, it can't be right. Yeah, I don't know why SMU is not in this rankings. Miami's ahead of them. Remember, these are the playoff rankings. These are not the actual ranking. These are not actually the what the playoff would look like. It's the top four conference winners, and then the four best conference winners, champions. It's the 4 best conference winner champions in the top 4, and the 5th best conference winner will either be wherever they're ranked in the final rankings or number 12 if they're outside the number 12. If they're outside the top 12, they'll be number 12. They'll be number 12. If the 5th, let's say Boise State in the final rankings are number 8, so they'll be the 8th seed in the bracket. So that's how it works. The fifth best conference winner will either be wherever they're ranked in the final rankings or number 12 if they're outside the top 12. From what I read, and according to what I'm reading, projected wise, for some reason they think Miami is ahead of SMU, even though SMU is 5-0 in the conference, and Miami just lost their first game. So how is Miami ahead of SMU? That's what I don't get. I don't get that at all. When I'm reading, Miami gets a bye in the projected. In the projected rankings, as I was saying, according to what I'm reading, I don't know why SMU is not in the top 12. They're ahead of Miami in their conference. Miami is in the top 12, but SMU is not. And in the bracket rankings, where it would be the top 12 or top 4, Miami would get the bye. According to what I'm reading, Miami will get the bye. the teams that would get the bye would be the four highest ranked conference champions, meaning Miami of the Atlantic ACC would get a pass into the quarterfinals for this week's version of the bracket, despite a loss to Georgia Tech that dropped the Hurricanes to number 9. So how is it that Miami 5-1 are in the or get a bye week, but SMU is 5-0 in the conference, and they're not even in the either rank. They're not even in the playoff rankings, or they're not in the final rank, the bracket rankings, which I call it bracket rankings because it's different from these rankings right here. The playoff rankings don't determine the bracket. These are just the rankings, playoff rankings, and then the four highest conference champions are top four, and the fifth one, as I said earlier, the fifth highest ranked conference champion either gets wherever they're ranked in the final playoff rankings. Let's say, for instance, Boise State gets ranked number 8, like they are right now. I think, right? No, Boise State's not even in the ranking. So Boise State would be number 12. Boise State is outside the top 12 here, so they would be number 12 because they're the fifth highest ranked champion. So they would be number 12, and they would play. Let me see. According to this, the playoff matches for the first round would be Boise State, Ohio State, Ole Miss, and Penn State, Alabama, Indiana, and Notre Dame, Tennessee. The fact that Alabama is in the playoff is a joke, and the fact that neither Boise State or the fact that SMU is not in the playoff ranking, or Army's not in the playoff, it's a joke. And they have Alabama because it's a brand name and it's Alabama. Yeah, I think the whole system is a joke right now. And even though they went to 12, it's still a joke. The fact that Boise State's not in the top 12 and they would be number 12 in the bracket is a joke. So yeah, so let's get to my rankings, which I do basically the bracket rankings where I rank my four highest ranked conference winners or leaders right now. They're not winners right now. My four highest conference leaders in the top 4, and then the fifth one will be wherever I rank them. Or number 12. So here are mine. So mine is Oregon, staying at number 1, Big 10 leader. BYU, number 2, Big 12 leader. And they were number 4 last week. Texas, the SEC leader. They're the SEC leader. They're tied with Texas A&M because Texas A&M has one more game played. But Texas is ranked higher, so Texas and has a better record. So I put Texas there. But Texas, the SEC leader, or the co-SEC leader, and they move up from 6. SMU, the ACC leader, the true ACC leader, because they're 5-0, and Miami is 5-1. So how is it Miami the SEC leader? ACC leader. And that doesn't make any sense. I don't know what I'm missing there. It says did SMU lose a game in conference that I'm missing? I thought they're undefeated in conference play. Maybe I'm wrong here. Let's see. SMU They beat Pitt. They beat. Their loss was to. Their only loss was to BYU. It's probably because Miami has played one more game than them. But then Texas A&M should be in the playoff because they're 5-1, and Texas is 4-1 or something, right? I don't know. I think the whole system is a joke. Anyways, check that. The SEC. Yeah, Tennessee, A&M, and Texas are 5-1. So Tennessee is actually the leader. So I should change that. Hold on. So I changed that. I didn't realize Tennessee was ahead of Texas in the SEC standings. It's a three-way. It's a two-way tie between Tennessee and Texas A&M. Texas has one less game, so I changed it. I have Tennessee in the top four instead of Texas because they're the SEC. They're the SEC leader. They're the true SEC leader. So by my rankings, I said the four highest leaders, right? The four highest conference leaders right now. So I had to put Tennessee there, the Texas. So with that said, Tennessee. Let's go for number three. Tennessee is number three, the SEC leader, coming from 9. SMU, the ACC leader, coming from 11. Indiana, number 5, coming from 8. Ohio State, number 6, coming from 5. I dropped Ohio State because Indiana is still undefeated, and I'm giving them more respect than Ohio State. Texas, number 7, coming from 6. So since I dropped Ohio State, I had to drop Texas. Boise State, number 8, the Mountain West leader. So they're coming from number. Hold on. They're coming from number 11 or number 12. So yeah, so Boise State number 8, because I think since they're the Mountain West leader, they should get the home game over Penn State. So I have them number 8, and they came from 12. Since I reread it and realized that they can be in, then it had to be the 5th highest ranked conference leader, then it had to be number 12. They can be wherever they're ranked in the final rankings. I put Boise in the top 12. I put Boise State outside the. I put Boise State in the top 10 this time. So finding that out. And then Penn State number 9, coming from 7, I think. Penn State coming from. I had them number 7 last week. And then number 10, I have Notre Dame. I think they stay at 10. Yeah, Notre Dame stays at 10. Miami coming from number 3, or is number 11 this week. And Ole Miss, not ranked in the top 12 last week. I have them number 12. Those are my rankings, my bracket rankings, I should call it. Yeah, so those are the rankings. It should be I hope SMU gets in the playoff. If they run the table, it should be. I think the playoffs. I think the playoff rankings are a joke. I think the committee um, botched them again. The fact that Boise State and SMU, neither of them are in the top 12, is a joke. The fact that the final three in the top 12 is all SEC teams is a joke. So yeah, Alabama, Ole Miss, and Georgia. Come on, they all have two losses, and you have SMU has one loss. You have Boise State that has one loss, and neither one of them are in the top 12. It's a absolute joke. So the committee better get it together because it's disrespectful to Boise State and SMU who played their asses off this year. That you have Georgia, two losses, Alabama, two losses, and Ole Miss, two losses. If you want to take two of them out, take out Alabama and Georgia and put Ole Miss and put SMU and Boise State and give them the respect they deserve. Again, the fact that Miami is in the Final Four, but projected Final Four, is a joke because SMU is 5-0. Yeah, I know Miami's played one more game, but according to the standings, SMU is ahead. Yeah, Miami's played one more game, so I can understand why that they are. So, but my SMU is undefeated. So, for me, they are the SEC leader. They are undefeated. So my rankings, they are in the top four. So you can screw the college football committee rankings, but they're a joke. But with that said, Money E is out. That goes my rant, and hope you enjoyed. Later.